Here's my audience. Behind me. Does anyone in the audience have a family member or know someone who was wounded in the military or suffers from PTSD? Oh, okay. Well, if so, people that are listening, have you ever considered getting them in touch with the Wounded Warrior Project? Right now, I'll tell you what that is just so you can understand it. Wounded Warrior Project is a nonprofit organization that's funded solely from the generous donations of its supporters, which could potentially be you if you want it to be. With just a small donation each month from each person, we could change the lives of thousands of veterans in need around the country today. Wounded Warrior Project aims to help veterans with both mental and physical wounds received during their military service. I've always been a huge supporter of the U.S. military and the brave men and women who sacrifice so much so that we may have the ability of freedom in our country. I want to make sure that these heroes are prepared for and given guidance for the hard transition back to civilian life. With many soldiers coming home from the war on terrorism in Afghanistan and past wars in the Middle East and elsewhere, a lot of them are not entirely the same person mentally and physically. These soldiers need help and guidance in getting back to their normal everyday civilian life, like work and everything else. According to NIH Medline Plus, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs estimates that PTSD afflicts almost 31% of Vietnam vets, 10% of Gulf War/Desert Storm vets, and 11% and 20% in the Afghanistan and Iraq War. During Operation Iraqi Freedom, a total of almost 32,000 soldiers were wounded in some way, needing help to get back on their feet. One of the Wounded Warrior programs is Project Odyssey. Project Odyssey gives you the tools to overcome the obstacles you face. Through a 5-day rehabilitative adventure retreat with trained counselors and fellow warriors, you'll find yourself forging strong relationships and rediscovering yourself. And I think a lot of these are like out in Montana and stuff. That's where I looked at. By donating to Wounded Warrior Project, you can help them get hundreds or even thousands of wounded veterans back on their feet and let them know that they're not alone in their struggle against PTSD or their physical ailments as well. And usually you'll see ads for this all over the place. You got Trace Adkins giving ads for these. Yeah, you've had to have seen it a few times. And so yeah, are there any questions? I've always been an advocate for the military, and I've always liked war movies and everything else. I've always appreciated what they do for us, everything else. How they are when they get back, it's not the greatest way to. Yeah, and the government doesn't help at all, doesn't do anything. Yeah, the government doesn't want to pay for it, so it stinks. It should. Everything else, so yeah. All right, well, thank you.